Hey everyone, Ben and Ryan here. Once again, we've been back about 3 weeks since the trip, and in the video, like in the footage you're about to see, I don't know what happened, my mic quit working. For whatever reason, I didn't get all the audio in some parts, so Ryan and I are going to narrate over the parts where I lost audio. What you're about to see is really basic raw footage. The first day was very strenuous on us, so we didn't get to do a lot of the things we originally had planned on the second day, and I didn't get a chance to film a lot of that. So what you're going to see is just some bare bones, basic, just us like hanging out in the woods and camping. We didn't really get a chance to demonstrate a lot of the tools and a lot of the gear that we originally planned on demonstrating and showcasing in this video.
And the next part of the video that you'll see is basically the first footage that we took of the whole trip. We're leading in, you know, we walked probably about 3/4 of a mile into our route, and everything went well. So yeah, without further ado, you know, this is the first part of the trip.
Here you go. Hey everyone, Ben and Ryan here.
In the woods.
We came from that way. About how far in have we hiked right now?
We're probably a mile, maybe a little less than a mile.
Yeah, so we're about a third of the way in. We came from that direction, and we're heading that direction through that thicket.
We got a lot of rain this morning, so everything is super wet down here. The creek bottoms.
And as we've been walking in places, the path, like we have a good path, and then we'll run into something like that. And so it's been good going and kind of not good going, but overall it's been great going.
Yep, good times.
So we've just come up from this direction, made it to this little opening here, decided to take a break, just having a few snacks. Just an update, this really isn't a story, I'm just showing you our awesome time camping. You having fun?
I'm having a blast, other than it being a heavy pack. I think we were right when we were sitting there talking about our packs being too heavy for this little jaunt.
The packs are heavy, especially considering my stamina level.
Yeah,
I'm really out of shape.
We haven't really prepared. I mean, I prepared a little bit more than you did. I walked a little bit more, but not with anything heavy.
I think if this is something we did more often, the packs would probably still be a touch too heavy, but it'd be much more bearable. It'd be way easier to do. Obviously, we're making it.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
And we're completely out of shape, and we're making it with like 40-ish pound packs.
I don't know about completely out of shape, but we're pretty out of shape. Who knows?
No.
I'm a little fat. I could stand to lose
That's
some weight.
fun. We're surrounded.
Let's go see here. Let's go look at this tree.
Okay.
Hey, welcome to the lost audio portion of this video.
It's bad because it happened right when we found the tickle tongue tree.
Yeah, this was really cool. So when we were kids, we used to find these all the time. They're tickle tongue trees. It's what we call them. I did some more research. Both of us were kind of forestry nerds in high school, and we never really learned about this tree. Some people call them prickly ash. That's the only other term I found for them. We call them tickle tongue when we were kids. You can actually trim the bark off of these trees and put it on your tongue or in your mouth or something, and it's kind of like a topical anesthetic, or is that the right term?
Kinda, because there is a numbing effect to it.
It's tingly.
Yes, I get a very tingly sensation from it.
It's almost similar to like something like tasting sour initially. Like that was one thing he actually, I remember him saying, he remarked, this actually tastes kind of sour. I really loved this stuff when we were kids. It was always fun.
When I was young, we always did like the knot. You know, you cut a knot off and licked it.
Yeah.
You'd lick on it.
Yeah. When we did it, we would always trim off the bark like I'm doing here, and then you would just set that on top of your tongue, and it makes you drool. It makes you like.
It was fun. It was real fun. Like we're out there having fun, going camping to be like when we were kids, running around
in the woods. Yeah.
We find a tickle tongue tree.
Yeah, it was a blast. And Benton's tasting it here, and I actually think you took it out of your mouth like if you you left it in for a while, but you actually took it out of your mouth like a few minutes later.
Yeah, you I do it just for the novelty of it, and it's just a thing to do. I think you enjoy.
I really like it.
more than
I really
do.
like it a lot. I actually trimmed off enough. Like here, you'll see me. I didn't want to take way too much, but you'll see me trim off some more. I actually took some and put it in my pocket. I actually have kept some over the next couple weeks because once it dries out, it still has the property. It's not as strong as like whenever you cut it off fresh, but whenever it dries out, it still has the property in there that makes that reaction happen. And I've had some at the house since going out there. It's a wild looking tree too. All the little knotty bumps, like some of them have thorns sticking out of them. This spot was really cool. I think we even talked about it in the lead up to this part, but I really love this spot. Some old bodark trees, Osage orange. What's the botanical name for that? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
We used to know.
Our old agriculture teacher would be disappointed in us right now.
Oh, no, I got it. Walking stick. Sort of. Creek crossing stick. Here you go.
So we've been walking the creek banks for quite a while, and this is the best place we found to cross the creek. And Ryan just cut that stick so that he can knock those 2 sticks off of this tree that has fallen.
Do not recommend.
Is that fucking shit right there?
Right there. That's
There is shit on this tree. There's poop on this tree.
I don't know.
It, man, let's go. It gets clear back in there, dude. With our packs on.
I don't like this tree.
Yeah, with our packs on. Yeah, I don't blame you. Needed 2 sticks.
Yeah. Motherfucker. Now, walking stick's too big.
Cut it in half and we'll share it.
We can do that.
I don't care. But
Yeah. This has sucked.
it does suck. So we've been walking.
Terrible. Show him a shot through that.
Yeah, this is what we're dealing with this creek. This creek is pretty long.
Show him that thicket right back there.
And then we've been walking through this type of brush.
Probably half a mile, 3/4 of a mile of that.
At least by the creek, walking up the creek bank. At least that much. And what are we gonna do now? Looks like we're not gonna be able to cross the creek.
Well,
Or we'll go cross it in a spot we can cross
yeah,
it.
there's a spot. It's probably the same distance we've traveled up there, but I think we're gonna walk into the woods. It thins out quite a bit, so we'll walk in the woods and then cut back into the creek, and hopefully we won't fall in when we cross over there because it's like a tall crossing.
So we started at what, about 10:45, 11 this morning?
11 o'clock, I'd say.
And now it is 3:30. And it gets dark at what, about 5:30?
About 6.
About 6. So we have about 2.5 hours of good daylight left.
Yeah, yeah. We might not make it by ourselves. We might have to call in some reinforcements, but we don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's possible that we might have to walk back to
Some family.
yeah, where family lives. We have this is family property, and we have family around here.
But it's a good ways. I mean, if we had to walk back there, I mean, it's still probably another 3 miles.
If we could cross the creek, how far would it be to get to where we're going?
Where we're gonna camp, I mean, hell, maybe 3/4 of a mile, maybe, like just where we're gonna camp. If we could have found a place to cross down where we originally like met the creek, we could have crossed over and
Could we be there by now? If
we would
could have
be
crossed
there
the
by
first
now.
time we met the creek.
We would be there by now. No, I have no doubts. Yeah.
And we got to the creek at least an hour ago, if not more. The first time
we probably got to the
it.
creek. We stopped up on that hill where we took some video a little bit ago. At like 1. We probably got to the creek at least by 2.
So about an hour and a half ago.
Okay. My dad's texting me advice from Houston.
Well,
Yeah, we got an option when we cross the creek. We can go east through some other family field, and then we can hit the road. There's a road that we were trying to go south of to keep walking through the woods, but it looks like the road might be the best option once we get crossed at the location we're gonna cross. Man, I really wish this crossing would work. I'm really tempted to try it, but I don't want to go into the running dirty water creek. Doesn't sound like a fun time to me.
we're both carrying about 40 pounds on our backs. And
10 pounds in our pants.
we'd have to deal with. It'd be one thing just to cross a tree that size,
Yeah.
but another given all the branches from what's on that tree and then even on this tree coming off the bank. And I'm real tired. I'm very tired. My hips are feeling it the most.
I mean, I'm definitely tired. What's tired on me though is the back, my shoulder. I got a bad shoulder. Carrying the pack is more daunting than I thought it would be. The pack's been nice, but it's cutting into my shoulders. I probably don't have it fitted right because I'm an idiot. There's that, you know.
The pack was good with me up until about 30 minutes ago, and ever since then I've really been feeling the weight on my hips.
Yeah, I'm carrying it all on my shoulders. I probably should cinch my hip things down.
But it's 3:30 now, so
We got to get going.
we need to figure something out.
Yep.
So we're going to where we know we can cross the creek quite a ways up here. All right. It might be dark next time we talk.
Yeah.
Finally, we got to where we knew we could cross the creek, and I ended up having to straddle across this log.
Yeah, I wanted to videotape the crossing, but I was concerned about his safety and wanted to make sure everything was going fine, and I forgot.
How's that crossing, Benton?
I feel like I'm a real man now.
We took different approaches. Benton got a little dirty.
Across it, and I humped across it.
Yeah. A good stretch of crawling there, but hey, whatever gets you across the log. His hip's hurting, he said.
I just wanted to lower my center of gravity. My hips are kind of hurting, and I just wanted to be down lower because you have to walk in a straight line, one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Basically. And I didn't want to have a weird moment where my hip kind of gives out, and then there I go tumbling down in there.
Fair enough. Well,
yeah, another lost audio portion. This was right after we crossed the creek, almost right after what you saw in the last segment. We were just kind of we were really kind of reflecting on what we'd been through in the woods, because this was really the end of our time in the woods. It was getting dark on us. I know that we were both probably concerned about making it to camp on time and being able to set up and eat something, and so, you know, we're probably 4 miles in at this point, and we really didn't want to call anyone to come pick us up. This is the corner of a family field. We could have called someone and had them come pick us up, but we knew we could cut through this field and the corner of the woods and make it to a road.
We were beat right here.
Yeah, we were really beat.
But like crossing that creek was like a milestone where we were just so relieved. We just took a little break right here. And although, like, given our physical condition, we would have maybe wanted someone to help us, we were like, you know, let's do it. Let's truck on through.
And we were really,
it's easy going. It's downhill from here.
Yeah, and we were really determined. We knew once we got to that road, we could get to my uncle's house. And in this next segment, it's about to come up. Actually did go get his side by side. We drove, it was only another half mile to our eventual campsite.
We walked farther than we had originally planned. We plotted out how we thought we could get to our campsite. And even though we went to his uncle's house and got this side by side, we ended up walking farther than we originally would.
Yeah, I mean, it was still. I mean, I had originally planned for like 4 miles. We still ended up walking like 6. We just didn't have many options at the point where we crossed the creek. I would love to go back in there again and take the woods all the way to our eventual landing spot, but it was just not an option.
And part of why we got the side by side was for the convenience from where we were. We were going to be, parts were in the woods, but parts were in open pasture, and we just wanted to run around our old family's property and have a look around.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at this next shot. This is a great time lapse. I love this spot. It's my favorite spot in the world, probably.
So this is the morning of the second day, and we made it through the first night, which was kind of a feat in and of itself because it got down to like 20 degrees Fahrenheit
cold.
that night.
It was cold.
And here I am getting the fire going so we can get ready to start making some bacon.
Yeah, this is really the first hot food, I had since we'd been out. I was eating beef jerky and Cliff Bars, and when we eventually we got camp set up by, headlamp and flashlight.
We barely got camp set up.
Yeah, I didn't even.
It was dark when we were still setting up camp.
I didn't even set up my tarp that night.
Ryan didn't. What'd you have? Maybe a Cliff Bar that night?
I had a Cliff Bar and some beef jerky. Literally like a handful of beef jerky. And
I heated up a little cup of soup in like a little titanium cup.
This bacon we've got here was really. It was.
This was a welcome meal.
Yeah, we were really happy when we finally got this. All in our system.
This is Applewood smoked bacon, which
it was
I
delicious.
highly recommend to anyone
delicious.
and everyone.
Yeah, it was so
If you
good.
see Applewood smoked bacon, buy it and eat it.
Yeah, and here we're prepping. Oh, go ahead. Well, here we're prepping for the next night, the dinner we were gonna have. We kind of hung out during the daytime. I did eventually get my tarp set up over there. We're gonna work on 2 fires here. We had one fire cooking our steaks and stuff, and another fire cooking our veggies and whatnot.
Yeah, we wanted to film more
bushcrafty stuff.
Yeah, bushcrafty stuff during the day, but we were both so beat.
The only thing we did build was a little bench.
Which is kind of a testament to like, okay, if you think you can just go out in the woods and start doing stuff.
Benton's actually sitting on the bench in this video, yeah.
Like, maybe you need to rethink things. We
learned a lot. We didn't know a lot. We learned a lot. Here we're chilling by the fire. These were this is a huge morale booster. Like, because the first night we were there, our fire was really small. We did end up having a friend, or my cousin actually, my other cousin, get us some pre-cut firewood because everything was wet. It was super wet, so we did.
Yeah, it had been raining a lot in this area, and we were able to get some dry firewood from some family members.
And we're just chilling. The fire made all the difference.
All the difference in the world. We had a blast this night. We ate a good meal, drank a few drinks.
Yeah, had some beers and
it was fun, very fun. We were not, even though we were like beat, like our bodies were like felt like we had hiked 6 miles the day before. Because we had. Like this day was just very calm and relaxing, and we just basically we built a fire.
We did all the.
And cooked food and just hung out.
I feel like we did anything that any reasonable adult wants to do in the woods, which is just relax. Oh, this is olive oil that had frozen.
Olive oil that froze.
yeah, and then
crescent rolls.
These were bomb.
Crescent rolls around a stick and cook them like you would a roasted marshmallow, and they're perfect.
And then the steak just came out amazing.
This is our meal.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Our legendary fire. It's the second morning, and we are getting packed up and getting ready to get out of here.
Last night was fun.
Last night was very fun. We drank a lot of beer, ate some steaks, potato, onion, peppers. Did we eat anything else?
No, potatoes? Did you say potatoes?
Yep.
I'm hungover.
Ryan's hungover.
Not that bad. I have a headache.
I'm pretending not to be.
Hungover is a state of mind, right?
Oh, Ryan got a tarp set up last night over his hammock.
Yeah. It was nice. It helped out a lot. Although, I mean, if I hadn't been drinking, I would have wanted to have the tarp open so I could look at the stars, but I went straight to sleep. Straight to sleep.
We woke up at about 9 this morning, slept really well last night. I was warm and toasty all night long. Last night didn't get as cold as the night before. I'll have to check and see how low the temperature got, but I think it got, maybe 28, 30, somewhere in there is the lowest that it got last night. And my setup was, I have zero issues with that weather. I didn't feel like it was being pushed at all with my gear.
Yeah, I felt great. I remembered I had this big puffy Carhartt jacket in my truck yesterday, and I laid down in my hammock just to relax for a minute last night and accidentally fell asleep in it. So I was like half using my jacket, half using my sleeping bag all night almost. And then at like, I don't know, 6 o'clock this morning or something, maybe 5, it wasn't daylight yet. I woke up and I realized I was still wearing my jacket and I shed it, and then like I was still fine temperature wise, but I was way more comfy out of the jacket and just in my sleeping bag all curled up. It was way better. Pour some of this water on that griddle over there and see if it'll sizzle.
We're live.
Hello!
Hello, hello.
If you can't hear, we're driving.
Read our lips.
Yeah.
So yesterday morning we finished camping, and then he stayed the night with his grandparents last night. I stayed the night with my parents, and we got rested up, slept in a warm bed, and right now we're driving back to where we live now.
Across the beautiful Oklahoma terrain.
Driving across the beautiful Oklahoma terrain. That hike.
That hike was rough. We did a lot of work. I wish there was a way for us to like do some screenshots of like my GPS stuff without giving away exactly where all of our land is and whatnot, but
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to do that.
Do you know were you able to calculate how many miles it was?
I mean, my GPS said we went somewhere around 6 miles. I think it's 5.7. And at least, I think probably at least 3/4 of what we walked was very rough terrain, no established trails, thickets, thorn bushes, and it was very wet, so we were slogging through swampy areas too. I wouldn't want to do that during the summer. It'd be a lot of snakes, water moccasins, and it would just be dangerous. It'd be much more dangerous than the time of year we went through there. We did see some deer while we were out there. That was pretty cool. They didn't stick around. They were like, why are those loud ass people coming through?
I still can't get over how crazy people thought it was that we did that.
I mean, we didn't think it was crazy because we were looking forward to it and it was going to be fun. But I mean, for most people, they're not exactly excited about walking 6 miles in very harsh terrain and then sleeping in, the coldest night of the year essentially in that environment. I mean, it was 20 degrees that first night we were there, and it was cold, man, but we were prepared and, we were ready for it. We knew what we were getting into. So, I mean, to them, yeah, it probably looked pretty crazy, but we had a hell of a time.
I had a blast.
Yeah, the hike really took a lot out of us. We intended to do a lot more than we ended up being able to do, just because physically we were really beat from trying to get across the creek and everything, and it was
I was so beat down that second day. My hips and ankle, my back was sore, and it wasn't able to do a lot of physical stuff that day.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty sore as well. What really killed me were my feet and my knee.
I just overuse, I think, for, I walked a lot in preparation for this, but even then just walking isn't real preparation for the type of hiking that we were doing, But really, I just had an overall sense of exhaustion. My muscles weren't spectacularly sore or anything. I was just tired. Just tired that second day, so we took it pretty easy that day. Went and picked up that firewood and we cooked a really awesome dinner.
We had a great dinner that night. We had steak, potatoes, onion, peppers, roasted crescent rolls, which everyone needs to try that out.
That was really fun. It was fun, and they were tasty because they're crescent.
Just take crescent rolls and wrap them around a stick and roast them like you would roast a marshmallow.
We'll put a picture up of those.
Yeah.
Those are fun. It was. I got them we were discussing making like some cornbread or something, but out there I figured wouldn't want to deal with it, especially with it being cold and all that stuff. We didn't want to bring an extra skillet to do that. So I was reading some blog or something, and somebody had campfire dinners suggested, and that was one of the sides that they suggested to make, and I thought that was a pretty neat, novel idea. So I'll do that again for sure. Yeah, I mean, I would love to do it again. We both said that the packs, they were too much to take on that hike. Had we been more honest with ourselves, I don't think either of us would have planned to sleep there overnight in those woods if we weren't able to get across the creek. I think we knew we had a place we could cross, so we were definitely going to cross there. And had we been more honest with ourselves and said, yes, we're going to cross the creek no matter what, we wouldn't have taken the packs that we did. Again, not to do it as like a trial run to understand what a pack is like. That was different. But if we were to do it again, we would just walk the woods and then cross the creek and go on to our destination.
Yes.
And I think if we hadn't had the packs, we wouldn't have been nearly as beat.
No, I wouldn't have.
But tired still. But.
So we learned, we had fun and we learned a lot. And I don't know how else to figure those kinds of things out other than just going and doing it and kind of having a trial and error. You can watch other people do their thing and pick up your little tips and tricks that you want to try out yourself, but I personally had to go out there and do it the way I did it maybe I'm hard-headed or stubborn, but I had to do it that way to find out I don't need to carry a 40-pound pack.
Yeah.
7 mile, or what was it? 6 miles. 5.7. Yeah, 5.7 miles.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Specific, yeah.
In that situation.
And I really enjoyed just, our grandparents and great-grandparents and your parents, my dad, all used to really be down in that area a lot, and they would travel through the woods and they would hunt and just general outdoor recreation down there. And it was kind of cool, I thought, that where they had all been riding horses for so long and stuff, we got to go down there and sort of experience what they might have, because it changes, but it's still wild down there, and that was pretty cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of cool to imagine my grandpa and your dad riding horses down there when they were our age.
Oh yeah. It was is that nostalgia?
Yeah, nostalgia. I mean, I guess it would be nostalgia. I don't know. It's kind of, it's not my nostalgia. I guess it would be their nostalgia. I'm being nostalgic for them, I suppose.
Yeah.
There were some things we wanted to shoot that we didn't get a chance to shoot, just because the terrain was really, really rough.
Yeah. It would have been nice to have had a GoPro and a lot of that.
Yeah, being that active.
I didn't want to bring the DSLR
out of the bag.
First off, I didn't want to do it for, risk of damaging the actual camera unit. But second off, I wouldn't want to try to hold the camera while I was making it through all that brush. So if I plan on doing something like this more often and want to film it, it would be way easier to invest in a DSLR and just strap it to myself, where I don't have to worry about it.
You mean a GoPro?
Oh yeah, GoPro.
Yeah.
My bad. A GoPro. I have a DSLR.
Yeah.
Invest in a GoPro so that I can strap it to myself.
Overall, though, yeah, it was a really fun trip.
Very fun, and I would like to do it again.
And
I mean,
we might be a little bit crazy. There's no.
maybe we are.
There's nothing wrong with being a little bit crazy.
Maybe people who go camping out in the woods in the winter are crazy. So all you crazies out there who like to camp in the winter months out in the woods and freeze your little toes off, give this video a like.
Himino's gonna himino, man.
Yeah, Himino's got a Himino. Shimano's got a Shimano. All right.
Later.
Later.